What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. If you were here for the last podcast, you will realize that this is just going to be a continuation. So it's not like a welcome, it's like a welcome back.
That's right. So this is part 2 of the conversation. And the reason we have a part 2 is because when we were shutting down, these women were having conversations. And I said, this would be so dope if y'all have this conversation on the podcast, like a woman's only conversation.
Yeah, it just kept going.
And y'all just talk about the things that women talk about. And maybe in a couple of weeks when I can get my fellas here, we'll have a man conversation and we'll talk about all the things that men want to talk about. So you women could get the insides of men. And right now, men, if you're listening, you could get the insides of a woman. So
they can't get the insides of a woman. Unless
they could.
Well, I mean, they could. But so I'm going to step away and I'm going to let them do their women thing. And as Ben say, it's a mood. It's a mood.
It's a mood.
It's a mood. And talk about womanly things. And you guys have fun. I'm going to take my mic off. And don't worry, I'm not going to peek. I'm not going to listen to what y'all have to say. Because you guys get freaky. So I'm leaving. Goodbye.
All right. So just like he said, when the cameras were shutting down from the last podcast, I mean, we're out here and we just kept talking. So like you said, we continued to have our conversation and kept the cameras rolling. So we were getting into a conversation talking about why it's so hard to find a good man, not just a man. I think anybody can find a man, but why it's so hard to find a good man in 2020. I think you should start because you're single. Ingrid's had experience, like she's been in relationships, so she's had moments where she's been single and looking or, you know, playing the field and seeing what's out there. So you have experience. But right now you're currently in that position. So why do you think it's so hard to find yourself in a good relationship right now?
I think we were just having this conversation. I'm an alpha female. So my personality, my demeanor is very strong. And I just feel like men today, I'm not going to say they don't want that, but it comes off that they don't want that. I work a lot. I know what I want. I'm not going to be mind bleeped. So that can come off like, next, because over here, she'll do it.
Okay. Do you appreciate at all a man's point of view?
If it makes
where
sense.
That's concerned. No, where that's concerned. Meaning, do you appreciate maybe a man wanting a woman who is less, would you use the word aggressive? That's less aggressive. Or that's less domineering. Or that's less assertive. And I'm an assertive one.
But you also know when to
scale back, and it's like a dance because I find that I have to be assertive in certain situations because it's hard for me to quiet that strong side of me. But at the same time, I'm also very feminine, so it's like a ebb and flow in a sense. So my question is, do you appreciate a man not wanting that for the vast majority of the time?
It's hard though, because
that's you.
It's me, but it's also my work. So
explain.
I mean, I'm a product of my boss. Work ethic. I wake up, I check my phone. He's the only one that calls me. He can call me at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It doesn't matter. We're always thinking about the next move, money, how we move. We're in the club. So I don't know if a man might feel comfortable with all of that.
With you having a male boss that you work closely with.
That and the type of lifestyle. Like always.
But you were saying that the influence that he has on you creates this strong...
You have to be
assertive because you're in a business where you're constantly dealing with men.
All the time.
And you have to be assertive because when it's time to get to that bag and it's time to negotiate and it's time to speak on his behalf, you have to be assertive.
Exactly.
So it's where like your business life is parlaying
it has to
your personal life, and you find it difficult to separate the two, probably coupled with the fact that it's in your nature to be that way.
Exactly.
So
and finding someone to understand that it's hard. And I'm 6'2" without heels on, you know, and Ingrid would make fun if I don't wear, you know, the heels and the little flats or something. She'd be like, you better put on a heel. But part of the reason why I don't
wedge.
Ingrid will
chop you to shreds,
which I have, and she'd be like, and I love her honestly.
I remember you sent her that picture of your wedges, and she called me like, yeah, you need to get on Benz. Those wedges that she sent me a picture
and I can appreciate
were a disgrace.
But what I can appreciate,
she called them a whole disgrace,
and she really did. But I can appreciate as a friend, she wants me to be comfortable. But sometimes that's my backscaling for men. It's like I'm tall. And it already puts me in a category where I'm tall, aggressive, like all of that. And it's like, dang.
You know, I use the word
intimidating.
I use the word aggressive with you because you've always used the word aggressive with yourself. I don't really like that word.
I know. But
I feel like it's not a good word.
Okay, but do you think he's aggressive?
Rashawn is aggressive. Rashawn is aggressive, and he's ambitious, and he's about his business, and he is like,
where would I can't
a freight train.
And what would you describe me as then?
You are comparable. Like it is, you are very much that. Let me ask you a question. Has a man ever told you that?
Yes.
Have you ever gotten that feedback from a man?
All of them.
All of them?
And I think in a movie,
you know what?
You've
never told me that.
They feel like they're dating a man.
That is what they've said? So walk me through a conversation.
It's not a conversation, it's an argument. Because, you know, if you're not...
How does it start?
I don't know.
Like, what is it born out of? What happens that leads to
them saying
that conversation?
Levels. You want someone to bring something to the table and to be at your level or above. And if I don't see that and I see you're lacking in an area, I'm going to push you. I'm a coach. Like, I'm going to push him. I want Rashawn to do the best. I want him, blah, 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 blah. I want my man to do the same.
Benz, in case you are newer to the podcast, she's played basketball. She went to college on a basketball scholarship. She played basketball overseas. She has been a basketball coach, boys teams, girls teams. That's how we met Benz. She was coaching both Logan and Madison on their basketball teams, and we developed a relationship that parlayed into what we have now. So there goes the back history. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I just feel like I would talk to them as such. Like, it won't be a comment like, hey babe, maybe it's like, what are you doing? Like, you know, like, what's up? Like, get motivated, let's go. Because that's the type of coach I am, that's the type of person I am. So it's not those type of conversations where you would be like, you know, I think maybe you should try to do, it's like, come on, you could do better. I know you got this in you, but it could seem as nagging, but nagging in even at a higher level. But who wouldn't want to be with somebody that wants to bring greatness out of them? I want to be challenged, and if I'm not challenged, then what's the point?
Yeah, I think it's like with most things in life, it's not always what you do, it's how you do it. It's about the execution. It's about getting to that end point, reaching your goal, and doing it tactfully where all parties are satisfied. But now here's the thing.
So is that settling?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's about making a modification if you feel necessary. So for instance, let's say you have a particular skill and you go out for the same job at 8 different companies. And 8 different companies are telling you that you're not getting the job because this particular reason. You have to pay attention to the common denominator.
So I'm the common denominator.
Whatever the complaint is. Whatever that reason that you're hearing repeatedly is a common denominator. Yes, there's something to be said about coincidence, but 8 times, same story, same end result, probably not a coincidence. So that's time to maybe be introspective and sit back and say, okay, is there something to this? Is there some value to what's being said?
But what if they come back? They always come back and say, I just wasn't ready for you, but I'm ready now. And I've gotten that every single time.
Every single time.
Every single time.
They said that they weren't ready for you.
Yeah. You were so much of a woman. Like, I wasn't ready for that at that time.
But now here goes the contradiction. All right. Now let's just think about it. We got to brainstorm it, right?
Go ahead.
You were so much of a woman. But at the same time, you describe yourself as more masculine.
Right. I was too much woman?
Can't be both. It can't be you were so much of a woman, but at the same time,
I didn't appreciate what you were like, what you were trying to tell me at the time. I wasn't ready to
was it that they weren't
ready
in a space for themselves? So it doesn't sound like it had to do with you. It had to do with where they were at the time.
But they labeled me that.
But for the fact,
but it was easier to put the blame on her.
I understand that. But for the fact that she led with the fact that she labels herself as more masculine and aggressive. Those are her own words.
I agree. Yeah.
That's her own description.
That's true.
Do you see what I'm saying? So there has that, you can't just glaze over that.
Okay, but wait, how about this?
There has to be something
as friends
for that.
How do you see me? Like, would you agree with them? And I mean, obviously not in relationship wise, but I mean, like, as a person, would you see where?
I personally think that you're feminine.
What?
I do.
Huh.
I personally think that you're feminine until you are in a position of power where you need to be dominant.
I agree.
Even the way you talk to S. Dot.
Oh, you definitely.
That's there like this. He is literally the personification of this emoji right now. Like, it's like coach face, like pep talk, like, come on, you got to be on time. You got to do this. We need this by such and such a time. We need this by such and such a date. You did this wrong. You did that wrong. Okay, come on. Yo, you slacking.
It's
Yo, you
business.
slacking.
Very business.
Do you know what I mean? And you're in coach phase. You know what I mean? I've heard you on the phone with promoters like, yo, this is what we agreed to. You're not doing what we agreed to.
Right.
And it's all necessary. In those spaces, I feel like you are exactly what is needed, which is why you are perfection when it comes to your job.
Right.
Okay? When I speak to you and we hang out, I see you as completely feminine.
Wow.
You are feminine. You are girly. You
put yourself out there. Like you're
sweet.
You're welcoming.
You're loving. You're pleasant. I've used that word. You are so, you are feminine. So I don't think that there is an overall label to you. I think that for you, it's context driven. Depends on what your situation is. That determines what you're being. And that's why I'm saying, do you give any value to what's being told for you? Because maybe the lines are getting crossed. Maybe when you're in these relationships and it's like the 8 people giving you the feedback, maybe they're not ready to be motivated. And maybe it's because you're dealing with flawed men that need to man up, right?
Which is why they call you back. Like you were just
but at the same time, think about this. Maybe if your delivery was less domineering, you might have gotten that out of them.
Listen to
And I'm not trying to say that you're supposed to be their mother and you're supposed to do that. We're just exploring what you've already been through.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe if the approach is more feminine, and this is assuming that a man wants a feminine woman, because you might have a man that wants a more domineering woman.
No, you're right. But we also live in a time too right now where men don't court. Like we had the conversation the other day and you was like, oh no. Because I was like, yeah, I'm going to approach. And you was like, oh no, I'm not approaching nothing. Like he would have to come. I'm like, but they don't do that. Like, Ingrid, you're in a relationship. So it's a little, but what you see for today, social media.
What and even like my other single girlfriends, like I hear a lot that men are looking for. I actually hear crazy that men are looking for a woman to pay for the first date. Men are looking.
Remember when I said that? Remember? Do you remember?
Right back to a conversation with you.
Do you remember?
So, hold on, because.
Whoa!
So my single girlfriends,
all the way against the people.
we've had conversations, and I have one girlfriend. She said she went on a date, and they actually went Dutch, and I was appalled. However,
here she goes.
However, I thought prior to my relationship now, I've dated in different occasions, and I felt that I should try going Dutch, or maybe it's okay. But now, Gia once told me she does not pay to eat. She pays in her marriage. She goes out to dinner, and she will pay for her husband if it's his birthday.
That's it.
She does not pay on a date. She will never pay.
Well, this is more like when we were dating.
But I'm
even
saying
now,
then,
there's
now
for
the
the last
money
19 years, it's nothing. But when we were dating,
never. So then I was like, you know what? Screw that. Let them court me. If I'm, I know I'm
doing that now though.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. Like I've had girlfriends where they're like, these guys now, they're like, well, why can't she pay on the first date?
Right.
Why can't she be? She's so independent. Why can't she take me out? Mm-hmm. But we're dealing with these guys that I don't know who they're listening to be quite honest.
I don't know, but it's going around
because I think it's silly. Like, luckily, I've been in a relationship now, going on 4 years, and he still courts me. He still opens the door to the car. He still opens the door to a door. We go out to dinner.
You got the
he
cutoff.
Pays.
You just got the last one then.
No, I think they're still out there because I know of some guys that they're looking for a girl, but then they're picky. It's just
bad timing.
It's bad timing. Then they meet a female that it's aggressive, an alpha female. Who is?
I'm gonna open the door for you.
I don't need no man to do nothing for me. Then
I pay for my own.
I pay for my own. I don't need you. I'll pay for you and your friend. Like,
and she almost.
You told me that when we were in Cleveland.
I remember.
Who you was gonna pay for?
No,
Logan's basketball tournament, like 4 or 5 years ago.
about it.
But who you was gonna pay for?
Wasn't I? I was like,
girl.
I was like, she really did.
I had to pull over, like.
I was like,
you out here paying for dates?
I went out and guess what I did? I paid for it.
She was proud of it. She was straight proud of it.
I'm that girl. I did that.
What? I was like, the waiter came out, was like, here, take mine. But I thought it was like something where
and I said, why would you do that?
In my defense, thought it was a guy would be like ooh.
Like impressed.
You know what I'm saying?
And
no, you know what it said? He was like, I got me one. I got me one. Right now.
And they did.
Got him.
Right.
You see, I learned a few years back, I dated this guy, and I should have known better, because I too have an alpha female personality, and it's a gift and a curse. It works for me when it comes to my career.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me at home.
So you both have that in common.
We do. We were having a conversation about this earlier. I had a conversation with my partner literally like 2-3 days ago. We haven't spoken about this yet. And he said to me that the reason he is not as present as I need him to be or want him to be is because I always have things handled. I always have things under control. My ducks are always in a row.
That's true about you.
I don't need him to help me with X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Because in my head, I've eliminated him from the equation, and I have already handled that business.
You didn't give him an opportunity to do it.
I didn't even become submissive and say, babe, can you help me with this? Or I'm going to need you to do this. Or I didn't even give him the opportunity to help me or to be there for me because he busy or he got work. I'm going to figure this out. And I eliminated him completely from the equation. I stopped being I have a problem with affection. I'm used to getting affection, but I never really gave it because it was always given to me.
Like initiated it.
I've never had to initiate it. So now here I am with this person, and he's giving me all the affection in the world. And then it stopped. Now I'm uncomfortable because I don't know how to be affectionate. I'm awkward. I'm good with a lot of things. Affection is not one of them. I think a part of me is scared of rejection, even if it is with my man.
Right.
Which is weird. Why is it? I don't understand. I'm scared that I might hug him or kiss him or something out of nowhere, and he might be like, wait, hold on, I'm doing something. That sense of rejection for me.
Has that ever happened?
It has.
Okay.
It has in the past.
So
I was younger,
you have like PTSD.
It's totally PTSD.
From when it happened.
I remember I must have been like 22. We was in the city on a date. We was somewhere like in the village, Soho, whatever. And I went to hold his hands. And he said, come on, it's too hot for that. Mind you, it was just him and I felt like it was a room full of people. And he done yelled on the mic, get the fuck off of me. And I was like, oh my God. I was mortified. And I think that has affected me. And it shouldn't. But it's affected me to the point where I don't want to feel that again.
Right.
I don't want to feel a sense of embarrassment. I don't want to feel that my significant other has rejected me, even if it was for a split second because he's playing a video game or because at that moment where I'm showing you love, I should not get rejected by no means. So I have an issue with that. And he spoke to me about that. He said, I need you to be my woman. I don't need you to be in control all the time because you want me to do things for you.
But you already did
but you also want to micromanage it. You don't let me do it at my own accord.
Okay. That is the only thing about what he said that actually, for me, makes sense. Is the micromanagement of it. A man telling you that he can't find any space to do for you or to help you because you are so self-sufficient is BS. But if he's saying that when I do try to help you, you micromanage me, you tell me how to do it, when to do it, why to do it, when it needs to get done, there's something to that. But to say, you're so self-sufficient, like you got a good credit score, there's always food in the fridge, you go to work on time, you don't need me to wake you up, like I just can't do anything for you, like that's a stretch.
Right, that's
you do have the
much.
propensity to micromanage. I could see that being very true for him. Do you see what I mean? Where he would say, you know what? Instead of, you're too self-sufficient, like, I don't want to go through that in order to help her. It's too much. That's just like,
she got it. So that has been my issue. So now I have to find a way within myself, by myself. How can I correct that? How can I now, on top of that, find it in me to show him affection? Because it can't be a one-way street. He said to me the other day, when's the last time you gave me a hug?
Ooh.
I just wanted to cry.
Really?
That's deep.
What is affection like to you?
Like, how is it received?
How is it given?
I know.
Oh.
How do you show love?
By what I do for you.
Action, right?
How I help you. How do I solve a problem? How do I make our life easier? It's what I do It's how I think. It may not be, rubbing your head or rubbing your feet or hugging you out of nowhere. It's what I do to help us as a unit.
Can I say something? Mm-hmm. You know what I hear in both situations? That both of the men in your lives have craved a little bit of softness. Mm. Do you see that? Like, basically, he's telling you, when's the last time that you gave me a hug? When's the last time that you made me feel? When's the last time you made me feel like a man? Like you loved me? When's the last time that you rubbed me or was like soft and
he says, I need a woman.
More delicate towards me.
I need a friend. And I haven't been
towards him though?
No, I haven't.
What do you mean? It's become business. Mm-hmm. It's become, work, routine. The baby, routine. Mm-hmm. It's
finding that balance.
It's kind of flatlined.
Yep. Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. But where does that, when he says, I want a woman, okay, so I know he wants affection, but what else do you feel as though he's asking for?
Submissiveness. He wants me to be more submissive, more delicate.
I don't think delicate and submissive are one and the same. For me, when I say delicate, like I'm not saying that a woman is a wallflower.
Right.
I'm not a friggin' wallflower. Do you know what I mean? But it's a balance. For instance, I want and expect for a man to be a man. Mm-hmm. Aside from his fun-lovingness and his charm and his charisma, it is hands down what I love most about Rashawn. He is a friggin' man. Everything about him is manly. It's masculine to me. It's why I'm so turned on by him. Like, we were joking a little while ago about the lazy D, right? It could be as lazy as it wants to be. I'm so turned on because he's such a freaking man. He don't have to do nothing. Because there's just something about the way that he moves through this world. There's something about the way he walks. There's something about the way he handles his business. There's something about the way he courts me. It's what I like. There's something about the way he's a father. It's something about the way that he is protective. It's something about the way he does provide. And even if he couldn't provide, it would be his desire to provide and the ambition. There's something about being a man. And I think for men, there's something about being a woman.
Because I can tell that with Rashawn in your relationship.
What do you mean?
He loves that you are, like, you wake up, you want to be perfect for him. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to make sure you are from head to toe. Yeah. But not only this, the physical, the mental. Like, hey, baby, good morning, babe. Like, you know how you talk to him, and remember...
The way I talk.
Listen, Ingrid, I used to think, I asked her, like, do you guys do that all the time? Like, I didn't know in the beginning. I was like, didn't I think it was fake?
The way they speak to each other. And
I'm like, y'all do that all the time?
Pet names. Yeah.
But I think for him.
She thought it was fake.
I thought it was fake. I'm not gonna, I thought it was fake in the beginning because I'm like, don't nobody say that. Or like, I've never seen that where someone, when you pick up the phone, hey baby, what you doing, baby? I miss you. Not even like I miss you, baby, but like it's always like something, baby, or hey boo boo, come here, boo boo. And it's not just with them two; it's them and the family.
The kids,
it's just the affection. But I feel like for him, he knows that you make him feel wanted.
Because I freaking want him.
I know, but
but yeah.
He also makes you feel the way that you want to do that. Like the other day you was just like, man, I feel like, we've been doing a lot for this house. Like, I just feel like I'm not.
Oh, on the stairs.
On the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. So what she's referring to is we have been moving since February. Like we have been moving like every day since February. So packing boxes. I'm up till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning packing. I'm in the other house in the attic, organizing the attic, getting our storage like perfect. Cause I'm an organizational OCD freak. So
times 10.
100.
You know what? There you go.
Maybe. So I wake up and where I might dedicate time to primming and, whatever before the kids get up and I tend to them and whatnot. I'm exhausted from the night before. I might have slept for 2 hours. Now I got to get up and I got to go to the new house. I got painters there. I got low voltage people there. I got electricians there. I have landscapers there. I have designers there.
So your focus has been on that and
so my focus is on that. It's still on him, but it's not as much on me.
Right.
And I got the quarantine pass. So
Don't we all?
like
but you still make time. That's the key that
I do, but not to the degree that I'm used to. So I'm not up putting on eyeliner and, doing all that stuff. Like it'll get done, but maybe some days other things take priority. So I don't focus as much on myself as if it's a normal world. Right? So I was coming down the stairs. I just made a joke, but I said to him, he was on the stairs, like standing next to the stairs, and Benz was near the stairs. And I said to him, because he was looking pretty bummy, right? Because he's doing the same thing I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like we're both in the same boat.
We all got the pandemic.
Yeah. And I said to him, I'm like, gosh, I've been feeling bad that I've been looking, 50%. Like, the last, few weeks or whatever. I'm like, but look at you. Never mind. I don't feel that bad.
That's exactly what you said. But she really had like a thought.
No, but I was joking, But
it was just funny because I really, you wake up and you want to be the best for him.
But that's part of, for me, catering to my husband. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want him to wake up and look at me and feel a certain way. I don't want things to ever get old or get monotonous, get dull, get drab or boring or, I think people can get to a certain point in their relationship where they look at each other in the morning and just be like, ugh.
Okay,
and then they just turn back over.
And that's what happened because in the beginning, that's what I was doing. I was waking up before him just to fix my little baby hairs. Even if I wasn't going as far as the eyeliner, I was brushing my teeth. I was getting up before him to make sure that I was put together.
So then the two questions is, how do you get to that point and how do you stay at that point? How do you, in the beginning, how do you get to a point where you want to do that? I don't know this man. I'm single.
So
I don't know him.
So, if you like him,
you have to, for me, this is just, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. If you meet someone that you want to invest the time into get to knowing, I feel that you put your best foot forward and you present yourself in the best light that you can. That's honest and true to you.
Right.
You can't try to morph into somebody else.
Right.
You have to decide who you
Wear
are.
my 6-inch heels.
You're not going to be in no 6-inch heels. You're going to be in some Yeezys.
You already know
and some leggings. but whatever it is, whatever your best you is and what's comfortable and true and real to you, that's what you put forward. And then you maintain that. But the person also has to be deserving. Everything is a two-way street. I wouldn't go balls to the wall for Rashawn if I didn't feel that reciprocity.
Right.
He goes balls to the wall times 10 for me. Me showing him love and babying him because he loves to be babied. I know that about him. So guess what? That's what I do. And when I say baby him, you know, like,
come here.
Well, there is a little bit of baby talk there. That's okay. So that's like technically correct. Yes. But at night, and this is the thing, like, it's the dance. I don't expect Rashawn to give me a massage or to rub my back. Would it be nice? Yeah, sure. Like, of course, I'd love it. Whatever. But I don't need that. I have other things that I need. Mm-hmm. At night, I will rub his back. If he's had a long day and he's tired, as much as he will tell everybody that I love sex, yes, 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 I will take care of him and literally put him to bed, rub his back, clean him up, tuck him in, and kiss him on the forehead. Good night, boo-boo. Tap him on the butt, and then I go about my business, or I fall asleep next to him. And he friggin' deserves it. And he would deserve it 7 nights in a row if he's extremely tired, 7 nights in a row. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if he wasn't reciprocal towards me, I would not do that. You're not going to get my best foot forward. But because I'm so content in my space in our relationship, I'm happy
to do that.
It pleases me to do that. So to see him happy, like, I talk to him a certain way, not because it's a plan, because he makes me feel that way. And that's how I want to talk to him. I speak to him with respect, and I make sure I go out of my way to make him feel loved. Do you see what I mean? Like,
but you learned him as well.
Yes.
Right. Now people are not learning people. I can know somebody from
I also
Instagram.
think that now people aren't
okay, I know what you did 90 weeks ago. Whose page you commented on. Like, you already have a
So there's too much information out there.
It is.
Way too much.
And I think social media doesn't help either.
I think social media is, for like a lot of relationships, the devil.
It is. It is, because you start looking at, well, he liked this person's picture. He liked that person. He left this emoji. I done posted these 4 pictures. I ain't get not one like.
Yo.
I didn't even get a little smiley face.
Like, what is your famous line?
What?
If it ain't up there, it ain't happening.
It never happened.
Oh. So if a guy ain't post you, I'm like, and you waiting and you dating and stuff and you ain't been posted, does that mean something? If he ain't comment out and give you heart eyes and you posted, and this is like I said, this is like the beginning stages, not when you're in a relationship.
Right.
So in the beginning stages and in a relationship, what do you expect? Because y'all be commenting, you be like the little DJ, you know, the little headphones with a heart. But and he be like, I can't wait to see you later and what you got on. And you be like, come see. You know, I know all y'all comments. I know I'm a creep. But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, like, sorry. But I'm just saying, what do you expect when you're dating, and then what do you expect in a relationship when it comes to that?
So you want me to go like when I'm first starting? Like,
just so I can get some tips.
So when I'm first starting off, I expect the royal treatment.
Royal?
Yes.
From day one?
Yeah. I want
if you don't get it from day one, when you start dating somebody, you're never going to get it.
You're not going to get past the second date. Like, I want the royal treatment from day one. Mm-hmm. I want the courting. You're going to pay for dinner. You're going to pay for dinner. We're going to go out on a couple dates. Let me decide whether or not I'm going to pay for a movie. I'm not paying for dinner. Right?
So you don't pay for a movie?
You don't pay for dinner.
I mean, I'm not paying for a movie either. Well, but I'm just saying.
But she's married 19 years.
No. Now, even if in 2020 I were single, I'm not...
nothing. You're not paying for nothing.
But she's not going to be single.
No. But I'm just... In the sense of real talk. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not disconnected. This is how I would be if I were single today. And it's not about the money. It's not about, I don't want to come out my pocket to pay for somebody else. It's not that at all. It's about chivalry. That's what it is for me.
Is it dead or not dead?
It's about chivalry. I think for many men right now, it is dead. None of them would be my boyfriend. They just wouldn't be my boyfriend. I would listen, and I'm not talking about this isn't about a woman taking advantage of a man and taking advantage of his pockets. And we both work. We both earn the same amount of money. Why I got to pay all the time? It's not about that. I will pull my weight in other ways. But, and listen, I'm not saying, you know, and it's not really about will I pay for the movie or not. Like if we're at the movie and
I just happen
to, you know, I have my car. Like
sometimes it's just a reflex. Sometimes it's just kind of like
that's not what it's about. It's about I want you to be a man, and these are the type of things that
what are the type of things
I want you to take care of. I believe in the provide and protect. Okay. I believe in the provide and protect, and it's not to say that a woman isn't or can't earn the same income or more and contribute to the home equally if it turns into a marriage situation or we live together situation. In those situations, yes, we contribute equally. But when we go out, I want to be treated like a girl.
So you see, I agree, but then I also have, okay, so on a date, starting off, right? I want to be courted, take me out on a date, pay for dinner, X, Y, and Z. Once we get to a place where I have been satisfied, I'm okay with paying for a movie. So let me...
Right. Or dinner.
Correct. And it doesn't have to be your birthday.
Because now it's not about... You've
money.
already proven yourself.
You've proven yourself.
You've already shown that you're chivalrous. You're not the dude that's coming to the date talking about we got to go Dutch.
Right.
Or I paid last time.
Or he's going to look at the bill like this.
Because I'm looking at you like, what kind of man are you?
Let me tell you, you go to dinner now, and instead of the check going towards the man,
they put it in the middle.
They put it in the middle because now the server's confused.
Put it in the middle. They put it in the middle.
And yeah, I'm confused as to why you put that there and not on his lap. But that's a whole nother story.
That's
your
what
tip just
society is now. They don't know.
So once I am content and you have proven to me that you have done X, Y, and Z, I'll pay for the movie. I'll pay for the dinner.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about the money. It's about knowing that you're with a chivalrous
now,
man.
however, as we get further in the relationship, and now we're talking about moving in together and X, Y, and Z, you can disagree with me. I've had people disagree with me. And maybe I get it from my dad, because I've seen, as far as the household, I'll buy groceries, I'll make dinner, I'll pay for the cable. As far as the overhead, the mortgage, rent,
the man?
Yes.
I've heard a lot of women say that.
And
even if you're both are just going and you're not splitting nothing down the middle?
I actually disagree with that.
So, okay.
You think you should split it down the middle?
Wait a minute. Okay, so now.
When she's done, I'll tell you what I think.
In my current situation, I moved in, I left my home in Brooklyn and I moved to the Bronx. I moved in with my boyfriend. So I buy groceries, I make dinner, I clean the house, I pay for the cable.
That's it?
That's it.
Now, was he okay with that? From jump?
Is he still okay with that?
Maybe not. Maybe not. But I'm sorry.
That's just the way it goes?
That's just and
There's
I don't
no negotiation.
I don't have a reason why. That's just I feel like I left my home, I left everything, and I came to build a home with you under your roof. It's not like we left here together and went someplace else.
What if you left there together
and bought a house? Absolutely.
Split?
If we was to leave there and buy a house,
your situation is extraordinary. It's unique. So let's say
I'm speaking from my situation now.
Right.
If we was to leave there and buy a house, and I am aware, and I'm consciously knowing that we're going to go half and half. This is our mortgage. This is our bills. This is our overhead. We're going to split this down the middle. Absolutely. I'm okay with that.
See, for me, if you get into a relationship where you're moving in together. Okay, let me start by saying moving in together or getting married or married. we've already decided that this is like a future thing.
Correct.
I've decided that you're my person and we're in it together. Like, I've made a decision. I'm not in the contemplating phase anymore. So if we're just moving in together and we're not married, I'm not putting my money with your money. Like, we're not going to have a joint account.
Absolutely not.
But in that situation, I'm cool to split everything down the middle.
For how long?
If we get married, once we get married, I believe that
It goes in the same pot?
it goes in the same pot. My money is your money is my money. Now there is no longer yours, mine. Everything goes into one pot and everything comes out of that same pot. I'm not thinking, okay, well, I make more money than you, so I have more rights or
Right, and we're not even talking about who
No,
makes...
I'm just talking about money,
No,
period,
so-
and money being merged together.
So, I'm not married. I wouldn't buy a house with him unless I was married.
Damn right.
I don't care if this is going to be a forever thing. It's not going to be no forever boyfriend and girlfriend. So if we were married, it's going to go half and half because, like you said, it's going to come from one pot. So my money is already invested in this household.
That's what I'm saying. If we're just dating or if we're just living together, I'm not putting my money with your money.
So we live together. We are dating. We're in a committed relationship. My money is my money. His money is his money. However, I am in his home.
So you get to save your money.
I still spend money.
I mean, you're still spending money, but I'm saying he's taking care of the household.
Well, if I wasn't there, he still had to pay for his rent.
Right, but you there.
But you are there.
Okay, well, act like I'm not.
Yo.
And I know it sounds so crazy because but it's just how I feel. Like, even like with my father, like, he pays the mortgage. He pays.
So do you feel that that's manly?
I do.
So you feel like that's man's...
That's a man taking care of his home.
Okay, that's...
Where I have control issues and I micromanage, so I may not give him the room to be the man that I need him to be because I'm constantly trying to dictate. In that aspect, he needs.
But I let you pay for everything.
He needs to be all the way the man.
But I let you pay for everything.
In that aspect, he needs to be all the way the man.
Did you see that?
Yo, that's how much... Yo.
And I know it sounds crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, when there's no balance, that's when things kind of go.
And listen, I'm not saying
then you got
perfect.
people on each end
feeling a certain
in
way.
their feelings.
Right,
Y'all realize that the sun is coming up?
Yo, I promise you.
It's starting to get light, and there are birds chirping.
But did I not say that?
That we're going to be out here till the birds are chirping? Yes, this is true. But do you see what I mean?
But it got good, right? Like,
but it disrupts a balance. And you have people on one side or the other feeling some type of way. And when you feel some type of way, it spills into the relationship. And it serves as a poison. That's why you have to make sure that the balance is right.
My balance is not right if that's the case.
My balance is all blue.
It's all the way up. All the way. And I that's why I say it sounds crazy, and not that I hate talking about it, but it's just, I can't help it. I left everything I had to come here. We have a baby, we have a family. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna put a smile on my face.
So those are the...
I pay the cable.
Yo, bye.
I pay because that's my little vice. Because as far as
those are the rules that you believe in.
Yes.
Interesting.
But like I said, marriage, house, it comes out the same pot. I'm all
marriage,
for it.
house, it comes out the same pot.
It comes out the same pot.
Okay, good.
As of now...
Well, if he wants to be made whole, then he better marry you.
He better marry you ASAP. ASAP.
We go out on dates. He still courts me. Pandemic happened. We've had dates at home, like we've been cooking. But if we was to go out on a date again, you're gonna have to treat me, court me, pay. Like, my money stays in my pocket. I'm not paying for the movie. We're gonna have to do this.
See, but here's the thing. for me, it's not like my money stays in my pocket. It's not about the money.
But
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about the chivalry. It's about you showing me that you are a man, you are capable, you are willing
to take
you are
me on,
able,
and you want to do for me.
You want to do for me.
Right.
And that is going to make me want to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the point that you made. You know, then when you prove yourself, then it's not about that. My card, your card, I pay for the movie, you pay for the movie. At this point, it's just paper. It's not even money at this point.
And
it's
listen,
just, it's literally like whatever.
We make the same money. He might have me by
a little smidgy. A smidgy poo.
Little smidgy poo. But in hindsight, we make the same amount of money. So, and she's right. It's not about the money. So when I say my money stays in my pocket, meaning I'm not coming out of my pocket for the date. You're gonna do for me. It's gonna be the chivalry. You're gonna take me out and court me as if it was our first date, because it's been a while. We've been locked in the house.
Interesting.
But then there's also, you know, it's also going to be like how we're sitting here talking about it. My man could then turn around, my hypothetical man, not necessarily Rashawn, but I guess Rashawn too, could be sitting around talking to his friends like, yeah, I pay for everything, but here are the things that I don't do and that I won't do, that I expect her to do and that I want her to do.
That'll be interesting.
There is the scale evens out.
Okay, so now, and this is where I come in and I say, I cook. Well, he cooks as well, so I don't want to say I do all the cooking. I clean. I'm the one that keeps the house. I make the house the home. I make sure that everything is in tip-top shape. The laundry is being done. Even if we're dropping off a load, because I don't want to do the laundry this week, everything is in the bag. Like, I make sure I've made it easy for him. So that I try to play that role. If I'm not going to pay for certain things, I need to make sure that the household and life has been made a little easier for him. As far as...
And there is a value to that.
Right, so I try to compensate for those beliefs that I have that...
But then you can't nag him about leaving his shoes in the living room.
Well, then, and I do that. I do, because it gets frustrating. Like, I'm like, I know, like, you pay for the paper. I don't clean this. Like, you don't throw your shit on there. Like, you don't see that. I was on my hands and knees scrubbing.
Right.
Like, I made sure this place you could eat off the floor.
But maybe that's the part where he thinks he can come home.
But that's the thing. Like, I always tell you, right? Like, Rashawn could come home. He could throw his underwear. He could leave a tray. He could walk out of his clothes on his way from the bathroom to the bed. And in the morning, I will get up and I will pick it all up and put it where it needs to be put, or his jewelry, like whatever it is. Like, I will, because it's that balance. Right. You know what I mean? There's a value to everything that we both do.
I used to complain to her about that, like, yo, he done left this out. Like, I'm not picking up after him. Like, who does he think? I had to sit down and say, I don't pay for a motherfucking thing up in here, but a table bill that I want, because he could care less. So let me pick up this man's underwear and throw them in the hamper. This shit don't cost me nothing. Sure. So I've had to take a minute and reevaluate the shit that I'm complaining about and how to make my life easier, and realize that he does more than what I believe, because I think he just should do it. And maybe I'm complaining more than what I should.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up, because a girl got to get up in probably about an hour with these kids when they wake up.
And take care of her godson.
Listen here.
Lord knows.
Who's asleep in Madison's room right now. So anyway, I got to figure out a way to close this out, because it's not going to be normal.
Oh, yeah.
I am Gia Casey. This is Benz. That is Ingrid. And this was another episode of the Casey Crew podcast. Toodles.